Okay, so I want to put the windows in on these two facades, but again, remember the view that I've got has a section box. So I'm going to just show you something. If I click on the house there to make a new default 3D view, it's going to make a new view with that name, 3D in the parentheses, right? All because I've renamed the previous view. So that's a really important thing. And then I'm going to go to the level 1 floor plan and place some windows. So on the architecture tab, of course, you've got the window tool. Really important that it's in the level 1 floor plan to start with. And then again, we go to window, load family, and make sure you know where this folder is on the P drive, interior design, 3D digital presentations, and then 2019, sorry, not 2019, sorry, Mary Street, Surrey Hills, and then Revit families. Then I'll start with the 3-panel sash window family. So a 3-panel sash window, not the arch. Yep. Okay, so then you'll see the size. Yeah. Level 1. Yep. Yep. Yeah, 3-panel sash window. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so notice that there are a few different sizes that I've made, but they're probably all the wrong size. I'm just showing you the different sizes there, so you can see probably none of them are right. Now that's normal. So just choose any, doesn't really matter, because you're going to change the size. And this is the process you should think about whenever you use families in Revit. A lot of them have different sizes built in, but they're often not going to give you the size you want. So I'm going to click to place it, and you can see that's too big for the opening. So how do we make it the right size? That's right, edit type. Exactly, that's right. So we can change it in properties, but then first, before we do that, we need to know the size. So there's two things: we've got to measure, and then we can put that size in. So if you're not already using this ruler to measure, if you're still using dimensions to measure, you're doing it the wrong way. Right, so dimensions are good. Using the dimension tool, you can of course take measurements, and I can measure that. But if it's just a one-off measurement you need, much easier to use the ruler. Right, and then I can just click on the 2 corner points here, and we can see it's 3630 is the measurement. Okay, so now I can select the window, go to edit type, duplicate, and then type in, well, what do we know? We know it's 3630 wide. We don't know the height yet. So I'm going to leave the height as it is, 1800. So I'm going to say 36300 by 1800. If we need to, we can change the height afterwards. And then here you can see there's the width property. And we make that 3630. Okay, so there's the two things. You've got to give it a new name, you duplicate, then you change the width down below. 3630. Yeah. Then OK. And you also then need to check that it's aligned with the opening. So I'm just moving it to one side so that you can see how it might look if it's not centred. Yep, so if it's centred, that's fine, you can leave it. But if it's not centred, if it's on to one side, so if it's centred, you'll know because it'll line up with the piers exactly. And that's how mine was. I'll just go back. So mine was like that. but I've just moved it so that you can see, again, if it's not exactly right, you can use the Align tool. On the Modify tab, you've got the Align button. So all you do is you pick the edge of your pier, so this little line here, and then you pick the edge of your window, and that'll line up exactly. And it should fit exactly inside the pier, of course, because we just measured the pier, or the distance between the piers. So that's it. It's going to fit perfectly. We've done all of those things. Right, and then you could keep going and placing the same window, and it'd work. It would snap probably to the centre, but I'm going to show you a quicker way that's probably more accurate as well. And that's if you select the window, then you can click the copy button, tick multiple. So after you click copy, you'll see there's a multiple option on the toolbar there. And the trick there is to snap to the corner, not of the window, but the pier. So I'm going to snap to the corner of that brick wall, and then go to the corner of the next bay where I want that to go. And then you just go along to each one. But see how now it's not quite right. So the second one, you can see there, I'm going to pause there and then press escape. Right, because this one's bigger. So that shows you what can happen even with equal... It is, absolutely. Yeah, so even with equal grid sizes, you will get different opening sizes. That's just the nature of geometry. So, I'll measure from this corner to this corner, and I think you're right, it's 3820. Now for that one, let's have a look. If we select the window, right, I've done this before, so it's already there. It's 3820 by 2400 is the right size. So we can just choose that from the list. Yep, 3820 by 2400. So I pick that one. But then you'll see it changes from the centre, and we've got to go and align it again. So we use the Align tool. Right, and just like before, pick one of your piers, and then the edge of your window, and it's going to line up exactly. And then you should be able to continue copying, just like before, snapping to the corner of one of the piers, and then see it should line up with the next one, and the next one, and then you can just keep going like that until you've gone all the way along that wall. Now, if you know how to copy to the other levels, just hold off before you do that. But you can see there, that's gotten me to the end, and that lines up pretty well, I think, at the end, so that's good. And then we'll go back to the 3D view so that you can see the final thing needs to be done before we can copy these windows up to the stories above this. If you remember, I didn't know the height of that first window, so I left it at 1800. So now you can come back to it, and I'm just doing this in the 3D view so that you can see it. Right, so we go to Edit Type, and I'm not going to bother duplicating here. Why do you think I don't need to duplicate? Right, so I don't need to keep this size. So I'm not going to duplicate, I'm just going to rename and change it to 2400 for the height, for the second number. And then change my height, of course, to match 2400. So now it's the same height as all the other windows. There we are, that looks presentable. Okay, so I've got my windows all along that side. Now this is actually the blank side. I'm being a bit stupid here, but we'll go with it because it's the same pretty much as the other side. But let's go and see while you're doing that. I'll just bring up Google Maps. You can have a look at it. Now, have you all been to have a look at the site? You definitely should if you haven't already. And normally Google Maps would be a bit quicker than this. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you the back of the building. So you'll actually see, there we are. So there are windows for most of it, but make sure you realise that some of them are blocked. But it's easier to just make the windows for that whole side and then come back and fix up the parts that are different. And are you doing this side this year, that extra extension? No, I think this year they told you not to. Yeah, so that's good. So that makes it easy, even though it's a nice little add-on. But you can do something a bit different there if you want, I think. Yeah, so if you at least keep that facade though, that's a nice way maybe of dealing with it, just to make that all open again, which is how it would have been originally. Okay, so we've got that side done. And then it's basically the same on this side, but of course with the two-panel window. So again, still on the level 1 floor plan, back to window, load family, and this time I'll get the two-panel sash window. See what sizes I've got. So there, again, we've got a few different sizes. Here, I'd say I'm going to pick the first one there, which is 2697 by 2400, and let's see, it might fit in. Yeah, what do you know? It does. Yeah, 2697. Yeah, that one is the right size. So you don't have to make that one because it should be right. But I'm just going to show you a little thing to watch out for there. Notice how mine looks basically right, but you'll see if I zoom in, it's not quite. So it's worth checking that, because if I go and copy it like this, then they're all going to be slightly off. Right, and here again, and it'll be annoying later when you do your rendering, you will notice that. You can also tell if you go to thin lines, you can see there it's off quite a bit. So before you copy it, make sure you use the align tool and pick your wall and then the window so it's perfectly lined up. Right, there we are. You can see both sides, it lines up exactly. I can turn the thin lines off again, and here I can then just copy and make sure, now let's just see, that isn't correct. It's 2707. I know I'm getting fussy, but we might as well get it right. Yeah, it's the second one. Usually you'll have one with grids like that, you'll have one at the end that's different. So yeah, I think it's worth fixing it. So here, this one should be 2707. So you may as well make a new size for that. It's worth getting it right, otherwise you'll get annoyed when you do your rendering and it's going to have a little bit of a wall sticking out, which is... it'll look okay in the plan, but in the 3D later you'll see that little bit sticking out might be annoying. So yeah, so duplicate and then just, it's easy to make it 2707. Yeah. 2707. Yeah. Yeah, it should. The other side should move. Yeah. Are you choosing the wall first when you're doing the align? So you choose the wall first, then the window. So here, I've got to align mine now. So you can see here, this is slightly off. So I'm going to choose align, and then I choose the wall first, and then the window.
So how do you know if it's got the align with the colour or not, right?
Well, you can zoom in and have a close look. That's the only way, really.
Yeah, so when I do mine, the one with the align, but
Yeah.
the other one with not.
That's right, because that means the size is wrong. So you need to check the size. So it should be 2707 for the second one. No, the first one was right. The first one's 2697, but then the second one's 2707.
But I think my one is a bit of this to be 2707. Mine is 2707. I want to
Right, that's okay. Whatever yours is, yeah. Just measure yours, and whatever it is, that's the size you should use. Yeah, if it's millimeters out, don't worry if it's existing, but we just want things to line up and be nice and neat. So, yeah, we don't... Yeah, that's right. The first one will be different to the rest. That's normal.
It's two different organisms.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. If you've got a slightly different measurement though, that's okay as well. Oh, sure. I'll come up and have a look. So I'll just check this last one. So you can see there my last window is a different size again, and it's back to being 2697. A lot of it's because of the way I modelled it. There we go. Okay, so back to my 3D view, and we've now got windows running along two sides. And because we've only got windows, in the floor plan, so we've only got windows on this level, then I'm just going to show you some quick ways of flipping all the windows to the other sides. So using the window selection on this side, all I've done is clicked and made a window around all those windows. It doesn't matter that I've got the walls as well, so I'm going to click on the filter button and just turn off everything except windows. And then mirror draw axis and draw from the midpoint of, so if you missed it, mirror draw axis you'll have in the modify panel, just comes up, and then go to the midpoint of that inner wall. So really important that you're on the inside face of that wall to get the midpoint, and then draw a vertical line to flip it to the other side, and do the same with the windows going the other way. So again, make a window to select all those windows, and again mirror draw axis, and then you'll have to find the midpoint. Now this way you're going to need to use a shortcut, SM, to find the midpoint of that wall. But it's a good thing to try, so if you can get that working, then you're doing well. And you can see I've got the windows around all four sides of the building now. And I'll just do the next part, and then I can help you out with any problems. So back to the level 1 floor plan. I'm going to select the whole building with a window, go to filter, check none, and then just tick windows. So I've got all those windows selected. And now copy the clipboard, and then go to the down arrow, under paste, align to selected levels, and I'm going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And there we are. And we've got nearly a whole building done. So paste align to selected levels. Once you've selected all the windows and copied them. Yeah. Yep, so I just flip those with mirror. That does all the sides.
So basically mirror everything first?
Yeah. Mirror first, then copy to the levels. Yeah, that's right. Yep, yep. And I'm just going to show you the one last step, and then I'll finish the video. So I'm going to go to level 6, and then choose just the bigger windows by making the window like this. No, but I've got different types. So I'm going to have to show you a different approach. Yeah, so I'm just going to select one of them, and then right click, and then go to select all instances, visible in view. Yeah. That's it. So that's just got all the windows that are same size, because we need to treat the different sizes differently. Okay, so I'm going to go to edit type, load, and get the 3-panel such window. And it should have the same sizes. Yes, it does. 3820. There we are. And then it's just this window, the 3630 windows at the end, those two. Okay, so we've got to remember Where's it gone? Sorry, that's the wrong one. Ah, sorry, I loaded the wrong one anyway, so I'll just do that again. Okay, so again, select all instances, visible in view, edit type, load, and it's the arch window. And we need to make the sizes again. So here, duplicate, and it's 3630, I think. Sorry, by 2400. That can't be right, but can all be fixed in 3D, so let's just check that. So it's 3820, okay, so so 3820, not 3620. So 3820 is the size I should have here. That's better. And then this one was 3630. Yep. Choose a new size. There we go. There we go, done. Okay, so I'll finish the video there, but I'll help you out with any issues.